The arts succeeds where politics and religion fail.
What's up, fam? Today, I got to do something really cool. I got to hang out with one of the people that helped pioneer the sound, culture, and movement of hip hop. This man was part of one of the biggest rap groups of all time, not only breaking barriers in music, but also breaking racial lines. And that's a really hard thing to do, y'all. From being one of the first rap groups to ever land a sneaker deal, to banging out hit record after hit record, these guys really set the bar high in the genre of hip hop. So enjoy this dope, thoughtful, and fun conversation with the one, the only, Darryl McDaniels, DMC of Run-DMC.
How you doing, man? Y'all can clap. It's okay. We got a crowd in here. It means a lot. What's up, man?
I wanted the purple room.
Next time.
This is cool.
Next time you come in, we gonna sit down in the purple room.
There's a lot of flavor in here, though.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, it's a lot of beautiful fur, right?
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Indeed.
And I'm sure you're very accustomed to some fine furs, right?
Yeah.
Man, listen. Why are you in town right now? Why are you in St. Louis?
I'm here for a gala for my friend Biscuit. It's My Life in a Bag Foundation. It's a charity or a foundation that provides opportunities and essentials to kids in the foster care system.
Oh, right on.
So I'll be performing at the gala.
Okay.
Doing what I do.
Nothing but the hits.
Renaissance. Oh, yeah, nothing but the hits.
Nothing but the hits. I like that. And then, of course, celebrating 50 years in hip hop.
50 years of hip hop, and I'm just getting started.
Of course, yeah, man. I like
and
that.
We're just getting started. 50 years of hip hop, we're just getting started. We haven't even begun to reach the potentials that are still on the horizon for us. We've done a lot. And what's weird about this 50 years of hip hop celebration, what I don't like about it is they're only celebrating people who made records. This is the 50 years of hip hop. We're not talking about the DJs, we're not talking about the graffiti, we're not talking about the break dancers,
right.
We're not talking about the beatboxers, we're not talking about where and how and who. I'm talking about the young people who created this culture. It's the 50 years of hip hop. A couple of people talked about it. Charlamagne the God mentioned it. Grandmaster Flash talks about it all the time.
Right.
We're only talking about us record-making people. The most important time in hip hop is the time before recorded rap. Because you gotta understand, the music business was just an assistant to help in the spread of hip hop.
Right.
But let's talk about the boys and girls who had no assistance, no management, no radio play, no record companies behind them, who created a whole culture that is now changing the world.
That's amazing. So then take me back to that time then, before the hit records, before everything went down. Take me back to that. What was the environment like growing up?
Well, I tell kids this, I speak at a lot of high schools, middle schools, and now elementary schools.
Yeah.
I tell children this, the only thing that changes from generation to generation is technology. We didn't have computers in our pocket.
You know what?
We didn't have them on the table.
I kind of miss that. I'm going to be honest.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So all the conditions and all the circumstances, crime, poverty, war, gangs, and all of that, it's the same thing in every generation. What it is what are the young people going to do about it?
Right.
So at this time, there was no education system supporting us, no political system supporting us, no social system supporting us. It was gangbanging and drug dealers. A lot of kids don't know hip hop was created by gangbangers and drug dealers who said, let's stop gangbanging and drug dealing.
Right.
But there was a problem. Once they stopped, what are we going to do? You know what I'm saying? Killing each other over corners we don't own.
Right.
I'm on the west side. We fight. I'm fighting you, west side. We don't own nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we noticed we ain't getting nowhere. We're in and out of jail. People are dying. So we were sitting there like this. What are we gonna do? A spirit, intention, a vibration, a calling said, what do you want to do? And some of them young brothers and sisters said, I love music. And that spirit said, take that music, take it to the local park. If you got speakers, bring them out the house. If you got turntables, bring them out the house. If you don't, go to the junkyard and get the speakers and stuff that they're throwing away because they're getting the new hi-fi stereos and build them yourselves. We built sound systems. Play the music real loud so the world can see it's cliche, see the beautiful music that's inside of you, because we all have beautiful music. And those boys and girls dig that. And it started changing the neighborhood.
So then where did you hear the origins of the start of rap, hip hop in the first place? Where did you find it? Where did you find it?
The Bronx, New York was the first place everybody can agree. Because there's people that say, oh, we was doing it in Queens, we was doing it in Brooklyn, but the Bronx, KRS-One, the teacher said this, it's the place everybody agreed where you had multiple witnesses saying they was doing this and Kool Herc threw the first party. So that's why it is. But it was in the streets of New York City. Now, here's what people don't know. It was just disco. In New York City in the 70s, there was a place called Studio 54 and other discos, where people were watching TV and the news and reading the newspapers, and they saw Hollywood coming from Hollywood to get into Studio 54. And when you saw these images, remember I just said nothing changes, only technology. Right. So you're watching the TV and you reading in the newspaper and you seeing Bentleys and Rolls Royces and diamonds and private jets and movie stars and athletes. You're seeing all the opulent people go into this place called Studio 54 and the other discos. Right. And it's all, they reported. And the perception was life is good. There's heaven in New York. But that wasn't our truth. But it was like, for us, was like, man, we can't get in Studio 54.
Right.
We don't even have cars. We got bikes and sneakers. We want to have riches and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the thing that we took, we noticed, wow, even the rich people get together and they play music and have a good time. So let's do that in the streets of New York. Let's create a place where in the midst of the crime, poverty, lack of education, social and political support, the killing and the drugs, the death, darkness, and despair, let's play our music for that 1 or 2, 3 hours we have where life is heaven on earth. So we wanted to create a place where it was okay. That was it. And it started with the DJs in the park.
Right.
See, in the beginning, it was just the DJ and the break dancers. The DJs would play the beats. We came to dance.
Right.
Like now, you go to a party or you go to a show, everybody's doing this. They're not dancing no more. But originally, you play the break beats, you hit the floor. Then they realize, I gotta let people know who I am. I'm the best DJ in the world, come check me out. Then that developed into dialogue. Then we knew, I'm bragging about how good I am. I'm bragging about how many songs I got. I'm bragging about I'm the best person doing this art form. But I'm watching everybody do this to me. Oh man, this music got people paying attention. So we started, at these parties, we started giving dialogue. Right. Now, let's do what the music that we're stealing, the music we're playing, James Brown, Isaac Hayes, rock, pop, funk, jazz. Yeah. Let's do what they do. Let's start making our own records. So like I said, we just started making our own records. And the reason why they became hits is because we were speaking something that you didn't just have to be from New York. Right. You could be from St. Louis. You could be from LA. You could be from Tokyo. You could be from Germany. We were talking about issues that affect all of us.
Yeah. And it's amazing. But you were able to reach out and cross literally racial lines with your music.
We broke down. If you look at the Walk This Way video, when Steven Tyler takes the mic stand and knocks down the wall separating, we was breaking down racial and generational and social walls that were built.
And that's amazing. But okay, since you're already on the Aerosmith Walk This Way conversation, because I wanted to ask you this anyway, how did that happen? How do y'all get in the same room and make this song together? You know what I'm saying?
When we was playing the music in the parks, we wasn't making our own records, so we had to use other people's records.
Right.
So it was funk, it was R&B, it was the disco people threw away when everybody said disco sucks. Hip hop was like, no, it don't, give it to us. We'll find a beat that we can run our mouths over. So before rap records was made, we used to rap over rock breakbeats.
Right.
So if you remember, it's a tongue twister. Walk This Way isn't the first rock rap record. The first rock rap record is a record called Rock Box by Run-DMC and Jam Master Jay, which was the first rap video on MTV. That was 84. 85, we did The King of Rock. Then in 86, we said, let's sample Walk This Way and rhyme over it. Rick Rubin, one of the greatest producers ever, who was our producer at the time, said, no, don't sample it and rhyme over it. Do it the way that the band originally did that. Because, you know, hip hop is this. If you make a song and you got a dope beat, when you ain't singing no more, I'm going to steal that and I'm going to say my rhyme. I'm going to make a whole song out of your music where you ain't speaking that.
Right.
But Rick said, no, don't rap over their beat. Make the song the way it came out when they made it in 1974, which was revolutionary.
Absolutely. I mean, obviously everybody knows that song. Okay, I mean that
it was
definitely
a game
broke.
changer.
Yes, definitely.
We
a
were
game changer.
sampling and doing that, but that was the record that resonated. That was the record that changed music.
But did they take on to it quickly?
Yes,
did Aerosmith say yes?
They were very open to doing it with the rap guys that might not be here in 2 years. Because remember, everybody thought hip hop was a fad.
Right.
They wasn't thinking this far ahead. They wasn't thinking to where it's at right now.
Right.
They was thinking, okay, 1986, where will rap be in 1990?
Yeah.
But we kept it going. But that was the thing that I think the Aerosmith Walk This Way record solidified and verified that our culture of the way, even though, you know, they don't play instruments, they don't even sing, but it made people appreciate us as a legitimate form in genre. That's what the Walk This Way record did.
Have you always been this animated, this outspoken?
No, I was the quiet one in the group.
You were the quiet one in the group.
Run ran his mouth. That's why we call him Run. He never shut up. And Jay was the flavor. I was the one that just needed to wait until it was time to say my rhyme.
Right.
And go home. I grew up a shy kid. I went to Catholic school my whole life. I was a geeky, nerdy, shy kid who wore glasses. I still wear glasses. I got contacts in. But my whole thing was comic books.
That's what's up.
Because comic books was the only place I saw smart, educated Tony Starks, Reed Richards, smart, educated, awkward. If you look at every superhero has a flaw and a problem in their normal lives. Except when they the every Superman got issues, Batman got issues, Spider-Man, all superheroes.
That's true.
So none of us are perfect. But then they take that, push it to the side and say, let me go out there and help others. So for me, it was just comic books for me. So then when hip hop came over the bridge from the Bronx, I never wanted to be in show business, but it was that, oh wow, you could tell stories about who you are over music. Right. So hip hop allowed mild-mannered Catholic school kid Darryl McDaniels from Hollis, Queens, New York. When I get on that mic, I transform like the Hulk. I transform from Peter Parker into Spider-Man to become the king of rock. And you know, with hip hop, everybody has an alter ego. So hip hop did something for all the boys and girls who thought they had nothing out here, but you have, even to this day here in St. Louis, there is so much potential in all these boys and girls. Mm-hmm. But somebody has to set the example for them to express it. So for me, I was like, if Thor is the son of Odin from Asgard. He got a brother named Loki, and he got a hammer. Imagine me sitting here at 12 years old saying, that's in that universe. Here's my reality. It's gangs, it's crime. If you're a straight A student, you ain't cool. They want me to play hooky, join gangs, and rob houses.
Right.
I don't want to do that. So I'm not going to admit that. I'm going to stay in my shell. But hip hop gave me the right to come and brag. Thor, son of Odin, Asgard, he got a hammer. I'm Darryl from Hollis. I got a brother named Alfred, and my father name is Byford. Give me that mic. Son of Byford, brother of Al. Banner's my mother and runs my pal. It's McDaniels, not McDonald's. These rhymes are Darryl's. Those burgers are Ronald's. I ran down my family tree, my mother, my father, my brother, and me. What? So with the same attitude, people were creating negativity and unfortunate situations. I'm gonna take that same attitude and talk about puppy dogs, lollipops, and bunny rabbits like it's gangster. So it was all a self-esteem thing, and that's what I try to get kids now. Dope. You ain't gotta be like everybody else.
No.
Be you, and find your way to express that. Not everybody want to talk. I didn't want to talk, but when I imagined I was great, I was able to get on that microphone.
That's amazing. That's amazing, and you still are continuing to be great, right?
Yes, I mean,
all this time.
Yes, it's a thing like this. I feel like I'm still 12 years old. You know, even the Bible says the kingdom of heaven is childlike. Here, you can have some too. Let's go play, let's go make, let's go create.
Right.
But as you mature, you know, there's responsibilities. But I realize I can still be me.
Yeah.
Devastator Mike Controller DMC, and can't nobody mess around with me. I'm the king of rock, rap, and of rhyme. I'm not just the king of rap. I don't want to just be the king of, I'm the king of, who's that? I'm the king of all of it. Now what you got? And you got a right to come prove if you can do it.
No.
But remember when you was a kid, you woke up every day waiting for something to happen. And it would happen.
Right.
So if we wait, I remember Ellen, she said this, grown-ups need to stop being so stressed out and go outside and play tag.
Yeah.
But it's all about saying, who do you want to be right now? And a lot of the problems with the young people is, it's not because of hip hop. It's not because of the movies we write. Self-esteem issue right now. A lot of kids are looking at the dominant negative forces that are on Instagram and entertainment, and they just think this, if I'm not that, I'm not cool.
Right, right.
So they become...
they start fronting. Yeah, it's one big thing.
Everybody's fronting. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So then what, you know, because I know you're a big advocate for depression, mental health, and all that. What do you say to people right now that are going through some hard times right now?
The first thing to understand is everybody goes through something. And it's not weakness. It's not, you're not soft. You're not a sucker. If you admit, I'm afraid right now, I'm scared right now, I'm vulnerable right now. The most powerful thing you could do is admit how you feel. If you don't admit how you feel, not fronting, I'm bold, I'm sad, I'm happy, I'm confused. If you don't admit how you feel, you never heal. So when you say, yo, the greatest people on earth go through things. When you're not afraid to understand, we all go through something. But that's easy to say. We are so worried about how people think about us. Mm-hmm. Everybody. That's why politicians are so good. They up there fronting, their behinds off.
Right.
But they're very good at that fronting.
Yeah.
So it gave them a career. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's perfect. When you're going through something, I remember when I started talking about things I was going through. Somebody, you're DMC, man, you got a good job. You DMC, you can afford to go get a doctor. So what if you can't do that? There's always somebody, somewhere that everybody going through something can go and find that person. It ain't gotta be your wife. If you're married, it ain't gotta be your husband. Might not be your brothers and sisters, because we're ashamed of how people think of it. Think of that one person that makes you smile, even if it don't come to your face. But when you think about that person, you get a good feeling. Go up to that person and say, excuse me, I need to tell you something I've never told anybody. And just tell them. I gotta tell you something. They're gonna look at you like, whoa, I was abused. I did this. Tell that person, when you watch what happens.
Be vulnerable. Be open.
Be vulnerable. Vulnerable is actually creating people with more adamantium in them than Wolverine. That makes you strong.
I like that.
But it's about understanding you're not soft if you admit you're scared or if you admit you're weak. It's actually a strength. Because when you say that, now the thing that you're scared, afraid of will come, and you will look at it and say, yo, I could really face this.
Yeah.
A lot of times we think of ways not to look the thing that we're struggling with in the face.
Right.
The reason why it's messing with you in the first, see, I found that out. It's because I don't want to mess with that. So my problem was I didn't want to mess with the feeling or emotion, so I drunk. So you can drink it away, but when the high wears off, and this thing, I don't care what it is, personal, family, career, it's saying, you gotta look at me. And all you gotta do is look at you, and that thing will bow down to you. So don't be afraid to go get help.
Where did you find sobriety then?
Well, sobriety came along. It was a funny journey. I was an alcoholic, suicidal, metaphysical, spiritual wreck who was still the mighty king of rock who walked this earth with Run-DMC to tell the world, walk this way in your Adidas because life can be tricky, tricky, tricky.
Right.
But on the inside, I was falling apart and I was thinking of killing myself. And I got to a point in my life where I was like this. Okay, everybody know DMC, the king of rock. But nobody knows Darryl. There's no DMC. There's no athlete. There's no actor. There's no businessman. There's no CEO without the person that was that little kid to make it come true. So I said, if I die tomorrow, if I kill myself tomorrow, I don't want the world just to know about how dope I am on the mic. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I want them to know I'm Darryl.
You want more to your legacy.
I want them to say, oh, Darryl came from Queens and he went to Catholic school and this and that and he broke his leg when he was 3 and stuff like that.
Right.
So I called my moms up and I was like, Mom, I know my birthday's May 31st, 1964.
Yeah.
Because I want to go, hey, world, what's up? I'm Darryl McDaniels from Run-DMC. I was born May 31st, 1964. And then I knew all this Run-DMC stuff me running Jay did, but I didn't really know nothing about me. I went to Catholic school, Alfred's my brother. That's all I knew. I grew up on 197th Street.
Right.
So I said, Mom, I need 3 things about the day I was born. How much did I weigh? What hospital? What time? She told me that. I love you too. Hung up the phone.
Right.
An hour goes by. I'm an alcoholic, metaphysical, spiritual wreck who's thinking of killing herself.
Right.
She calls back with my father. I'm 35 years old. This is when Down with the King dropped. Remember when Down with the King put us back out there? Because now we were the OGs. We the 80s. Now in the 90s, we got a hit with Pete Rock and CL Smooth. You know what I'm saying? So everybody bowing down again. So she calls back with my father. There's something I need to tell you. And I'm like, what? I thought she was going to go, well, when you was born, there was a fire in the hospital. When they gave
all
birth
the details,
to you.
right?
Nope, she hit me with this. Something else we have to tell you. What? You was a month old when we brought you home and you're adopted. We love you. Bye.
What?
I was 35 years old when I found out over the phone, because I started asking questions about my birthday, that the DMC the world knew from 83 to 93 was adopted.
Wow.
Imagine how I feel. Now I'm already in a bad place.
And you did not know?
Did not
at
know.
all.
It was my cousins all called me after. We heard your mother just told you, Dad, we've been holding that secret in. Christmas time in Hollis, Queens was always in my house. Then I found out I was a foster kid. So I found out all of this stuff. I found out it didn't all begin in Hollis. So the thing that made me get sober during this time, I got this revelation. Now I really want to kill myself because now I'm at Christmas time in Hollis, Queens. No, you are Christmas time in Hollis, Queens, but there's another chapter to your story. So when I knew there was another chapter, I said, you know what? If I'm going to go down this road to discover what's on the first page of my life, let me go get clean and sober. So it was a traumatic revelation that made me do 2 things. Everybody got to understand, mental health is this. You always got to be of sound mind and body. It doesn't say be of sound body. It don't work that way.
No.
You can do all the working out you do and still be weak. So I said, let me be of sound mind. Let me go get sober. When I went and got sober, now I can't drink no more. Let me go exercise.
Right.
So when I did that, long story short, I was able to go find my birth mother.
Now,
and when I found my birth mother, she just looked at me and said, when I first found my birth mother, she looked at me, just first thing she said to me, I know you're dying to know why I gave you up. Now, because foster care is meant to get the kids back with the families. Temporary situation. a lot of times that don't happen, which was my thing. I wasn't able to go back to my birth mother, but I found her. And first thing she said to me was, "You want to know why I gave you up?" I was like, "Shoot, lady, that's an understatement." She used this word: "I gave you up to give you a chance." Oh. Then I sat there and I looked, "Lady, you don't know what you did." So when that happened to me, I said, look what hip hop and rock and roll and imagination did for me. I was able to be this DMC thing and pass it to L, pass it to PE, pass it to Jay-Z, pass it to Eminem.
Yeah.
Eminem said I was a white kid living in Detroit and I saw Run-DMC and said, wow, I could be something.
Right.
So we have
That's
a responsibility. Amazing. But for me, the sobering moment was, I gotta get sober to confront my truth. And that's a very hard thing to do.
Yeah.
I tell people this, therapy doesn't help you. Let me rephrase that. The therapist doesn't help you. My friends go, why do you go then? The therapist is just a decoy so you could do two things. Because you're scared to talk to yourself in the mirror and you're running from your reality. But the therapist in therapy is just a replacement of you so you could do two things. And we all do this. Say stuff to yourself that you should have been saying a long time ago, or repeat stuff that you said to yourself, but you just didn't listen. Everybody, when you get the therapy, before you rob that bank, before you shoot, before you take that drug, your first thought is, man, this ain't right.
Yeah.
And then you go and
then you're like, oh, well, maybe I should be listening to myself because I am
but
right.
You don't. And then you get to a point, maybe some of us don't go to jail, maybe some of us don't die, but you'll get to that point later in your life.
Yeah.
No matter how many millions and billions you had, and you will sit there and say, man, I should have listened to, not my mother. They always tell you, do the right thing, teachers. When people are telling you to do good, and this is what I tell all the gangsters, the people are telling you to do good because you are so good at being negative. You are an impressive motherfucker doing all that negative hard shit. If you would just do one positive stuff, you would have all the riches that you deserve. Not like Diddy, not like Jay-Z, not yours. But we don't listen to us.
Yeah, we don't.
And that's what hip hop allowed us to do. When I heard Mo D, Kool Mo D, the reason why I rapped on my record, I'm DMC, in the place to be. I go to St. John's University. I bragged about that shit.
Right.
Like, I don't care how many bitches and hoes and guns you got. I went to some motherfucker. Excuse me. But Kool Mo D told me, and Kool Mo D was our Eminem and Jay-Z. It was Mo D, Grandmaster Caz, and Mel. But Mo D didn't just rap about how good he in his Benz is. He said this one day on a record called Yes We Can, where he sampled the Pointer Sisters. I know we can make it. I know that we can. I know darn well that we can work it out. Yes We Can. Remember that record? By the Pointer Sisters. Mo D, I was waiting for him to say his rhyme. I thought he was going to be on Mo D and I got money and I rhyme. He said this. He said once, at one point in time, like all of you out there, he said, once a nobody from the neighborhood, I took a hop to the top because I knew that I would excel over the rest because I make progress. I don't consider it luck because I'm not blessed. I got my life all together. Love the way that I live. I go to school. Know I'm cool and I think positive. Then he hit me with this. It's all right to have fun, lots of pleasures and joy, but it's a brain that separates the men from the boys.
Yep.
And he was a boy saying that.
Yeah. Facts.
And when Mo D said that, there was dudes that, well, I can't rap, I can't DJ, I can't break dance, I can't do graffiti, but I'm gonna go to school and be a photographer. I'm gonna go to school and be a journalist. I'm gonna go to school.
Right.
Hip hop caused so many people in unfortunate circumstances to become great at something.
That's true. I got two more questions. I got time for two? Okay. A little bit of a left turn, okay? Just letting you know. So Jam Master Jay, it looks like some of the suspects
they got him.
But it looks like
there's another one coming out.
But it looks like they may be going into trial here. Yeah. As of like the last 5 days, they said something about this. So
it's been forever.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts about the murder of one of your co-creators, one of your friends, one of your teammates? What are your thoughts on that?
Right. It's two thoughts. When it first happened, I think this was when Twitter first, or MySpace, or one of it. Somewhere out there in the early social media, when Jay got shot and killed, everybody was disgusted. I was disgusted. Everybody was hurt. I was hurt. But then I put up, this is funny, because I don't have like 50 million followers like Will Smith and The Rock. You know what I'm saying? Rightfully so. These guys are Hollywood, this and that.
Right.
But, I put, I'm not mad at the guy that shot Jason. Oh, I should have never did that, Pascal.
Oh my God.
They cursed me.
I was about to say.
So then I had to, hold on. Let me clarify what I'm saying. I'm not mad at the individual. He's not my fight. And everybody said, oh yeah, we get you. I said, my fight and my anger is at the mindset that will cause the individual to do that.
Right.
Oh yeah, okay, now what you doing? Because when you killed Jay, you just cut off more people coming through the same door that Jay made it through. Jay's studio wasn't in Hollywood.
No.
Jay's studio wasn't in the city. It was 5 minutes from where he grew up.
That's crazy.
The very thing Jay escaped from, he went back to Florida again, is the very thing, not the person, the mindset that killed him. So for me, I'm like, wow, man, I'm hurt because I never thought, Kurt Cobain of Nirvana died.
Right.
That's not me. Bruce Lee, when he did his film, it happens to all of us.
Yeah. And
So
that was 22 years?
22 years ago.
On October 30th.
Yes.
I mean, this is only a few days ago.
Yes, so
The year of
this is
the
deep
anniversary
too.
of his death.
Think
crazy.
about Scott LaRock. Think about Pac. Think about Biggie. Think about Jay. Think about Freaky Tide.
What are your thoughts on, real quick, what are your thoughts on Pac with everything that's going on with the, what are your thoughts on Pac's
everybody
alleged...
everybody who's done something to someone will have to pay for it. That's how I look at it. I ain't gonna say they need to pay for it, this and that, no. If you do something, you're gonna have to pay for it. There's two ways to pay for it. You either receive a blessing for doing something good, or you receive the very thing you caused in that moment. So for me, of course I'm mad at the guy that got Jay in the whole situation, but he's not my fight, because the Jays and Pacs aren't as important as the ones who are not Jay and Pac. I'm talking about we don't raise hell for the brothers and sisters who are dying every day in every community. But we want to get up here and get on this and that for Jay and Pac. No, Jay and Pac are not, forget the celebrity. Okay, let's talk about celebrities. And people say, you're right, D. Let's talk about celebrity. Every young boy or girl dying could have been that same celebrity like Jay and Pac. So how I think of it is, my closeness to that situation, because it was Jam Master Jay, is showing me how important it is to keep Pacs and Jays from dying in everybody's community.
That's what's up.
So it's causing me to be very responsible. And you gotta understand, Run-DMC, De La Soul, KRS-One, we never told a gangbanger or a thug or a criminal you was wrong for doing what you were doing. We just did this. We talked about what happened with a gun, and then the very next record, we made a record about what would happen if you didn't use the gun.
Right.
So all these young people need is opportunities, which is what my man Biscuit from St. Louis is providing for these foster kids. They just need an opportunity and the necessary alternative. Take the gun and the knife from the kid and put a camera in his hand. Let's see what happens.
Put a pen in their hand,
Put
and
a
a piece of
pen
paper,
in
right?
his hand. Put a paintbrush in his hand.
One last question,
Yes.
because I know we got to get going. One last question. Where do you see hip hop going from this point on? What's the future of hip hop in your personal opinion?
Somebody asked me that. We've built the foundation of what we can do in the music industry. Billionaires, CEOs, everybody that found a position in hip hop, whether you're a rapper, a manager, tour director, whatever. Now, here's the problem for us. In the next 50 years, what's our responsibility? The content. There are so many more stories that Hollywood needs to be educated about. And those stories will create other opportunities. We have 50 years of hip hop musically now got us past the point that, I used to be a drug dealer, now I'm a rapper.
Right.
I used to be a gangbanger, now I'm a rapper. Whatever you used to be, now we all here. And the doors is open. Now what hip hop needs to do is be the suits. Sitting in the seats at all the corporations and entities that distribute, create, regulate everything from well, not press and print, because we don't have vinyl no more. From the streaming services to the stages, to the deals. We're going to give you a movie deal. We're going to give you a product deal, this and that. It don't need to be other people controlling.
So you're saying all of us in the corner office?
Yes.
Us
I tell the kids, we don't need no more rappers.
controlling everything.
I need you sitting at the head of BET.
Gotcha.
Don't try to be on it. And across the board, not just with entertainment. What I really want to say for hip hop now, we got to take this culture, your cameras, my words, my music, their art, their dance, and this and that, and we got to educate with it.
Right.
The arts succeeds where politics and religion fails. And I remember we on tour. This is a beautiful story. 1988, Run-DMC, EPMD, Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. Big shout out to Will. I just did your show too. Thanks for having me.
All right, call me.
And Eric B. and Rakim, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Will, when you come to St. Louis, you got to do the show. And we're standing on the side of the stage, and Chuck D is Chuck D.
Yeah.
Chuck's like maybe 24, 25. He's the oldest of these young brothers and sisters. And we all standing there, and we talking about what's so great about hip hop. Now, this is over 30 years ago. Man, we in Coliseums, running them got us doing sneaker deals. Man, we doing movies, this and that. We all rich and stuff like that. Chuck said, nah, man, the most important thing about hip hop is the power of communication. And he told us there's always a camera in front of us. There's always a mic in front of us. We on stage in front of the people. And I was like, wow. So 50 years of hip hop, right? We done struggled through all the records and this and that. And we got Diddy's and we got Jay-Z and we billionaires now.
Right.
Now we done got to the rooms. Now we need to be running the rooms, but also utilize the tools that are put here for us to do you're doing right now what all my records have done for the last 35 years with a camera and dialogue.
That's beautiful, man. Man, let me say this. I appreciate you sitting down with me. Thank you so much for you just dropping nothing but knowledge bombs this entire time.
You need a show on Netflix.
I appreciate that.
This show needs to be on Netflix.
You just say that right into the camera.
This
right
show
there.
needs to be on Netflix or some streaming service.
Oh, right here. That camera.
The Pascal Show, right?
Netflix.
The Pascal Show. We need this. Our communities need this.
Call me.
I can see it. Yeah, set it up. I'll executive produce it.
Oh, let's go.
I'll do it. We'll have conversations with we have a rapper and a singer and a PhD, and we'll have a musical guest.
I love it. In a purple ass room.
Look, and we want it with the same respect as the nighttime talk shows get. No, this is what this felt like.
But that's how it's supposed to.
And then I get up and leave, and you go.
Is it because of the
next guest? Your swag is ridiculous. No, the swag is ridiculous. No. But this is I'm using you as an example.
Yeah.
This is what hip hop should be doing.
Absolutely.
The same thing Jimmy Fallon is doing. But we need us.
But that's the problem. That's the problem. Sorry.
No, keep it going.
Okay, but that's the problem.
Let's talk about it. People need to hear
There's
this.
a lot of this kind of stuff that's kind of starting to die. The late night talk shows, that kind of thing. But a lot of those guys, I mean, we don't have any black late night talk show people out here doing the Jimmy Fallon, but
it
their
could
own
be
way.
you. See, that's what
that would be amazing.
Missing. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. We had this whole strike in Hollywood.
You know what
I'm telling you, we had this whole strike. Most of our hip hop stories is I was a gangbanger or a drug dealer and I'm a rapper. No, let's talk about the guy that started out in his room with the vision.
Yes.
If you put that on the big screen, that would transform an audience. But what it is I had one guy say, no, DMC, I told one person, I don't want to be in front of the camera. I've been in front of the camera for 40 years of the 50 years of hip hop.
Right.
You don't need to see me. You know what I do. I want to put somebody new. There needs to be a new
There needs to be.
Dick Cavett. There needs to be a new Mike Douglas. All the shows are. There needs to be a new Merv Griffin from our communities.
Yeah.
And believe you, Hollywood, y'all will make a shitload of money with advertising because this brother's the real deal. Okay, let's leave it at that.
You heard it here first. You heard it from the man himself, the legend. Okay, DMC. I want to say again, thank you.
No,
thank you. Thank you. It's a blessing to sit down with you, man. Your energy is amazing.
I don't know. I just don't like the
amazing.
underground staying underground like we were.
I feel you.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
Nothing against all of these other people.
I guess it's a cut. We can cut now.
Oh, great.
He just stood up, so I mean. So I hope you guys enjoyed this very deep and amazing conversation with DMC. Man, there's a lot to dissect, guys, don't you think? A lot to take home and think about. Definitely a really unique and unbelievable individual. This is the reason why this man is part of a legendary group, Run-DMC. Thank you to the Fur and Leather Center right here in Clayton, Missouri for providing us with the space, because without them, it would have been very uncomfortable. Okay? So anyway, guys, please do me a favor. If you appreciated the conversation, which I'm sure you did, and hopefully it resonates inside of you, the conversation. We talked about a lot of things, so do me a favor, hit that like button down below. Do not forget to crush that subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube. Crush that follow button on Facebook if you're watching over there as well. Of course, it's always great to have you a part of the Pascal Show family on both platforms. Anyway, it's time to get going. And if you like this, hopefully there'll be more of these kind of conversations coming very, very soon. Anyway, guys, it's time to get going. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I'll see you guys in the next show. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.
Oh, I ran out of film.
You're fun.
Pascal, you are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild.